Hi all, it's Dory from Loaves and Fishes, and I'm back. It's been years, but I'm back. This video is actually my, this angelfish pair from some fish that I actually recently acquired. This is their third spawn since I have received them. And this video is going to follow up to today, what has happened since they lay the eggs you see on the screen right here. And here is where they've moved them. They move them every few hours, it seems like at this point, from leaf to leaf on the plant. And as you can see how sticky those little eggs are. And they seem, so far, they ate the eggs for the first two spawns, but they have left these eggs alone as far as eating them. And what I've done special to help promote that is I leave a blue light on at night so that they can see the eggs and see if there's any threat to them and care for them all night. So I leave a blue light on all night and a regular, not very bright light on during the day. And since this part of the video was taken, I have since removed the air stone from the tank until the fry are swimming, because it was creating so much current with the other filtration current that it was washing the eggs off the leaves. So, but I have decided just to let the parents raise these eggs and see how it goes. So here you can see where they're just like hanging under the leaf and down the stem. These fish have been very, very diligent in tending to these eggs. They're so far seem to be very tender and caring parents. Excuse me. And that bend in that fish's fin, I believe, is from the conditions that the fish were in when I got them, or at least the conditions maybe when the fish was young, because they were not in the best conditions. They were a little overcrowded, etc., etc. So but we'll see with these babies. If we end up with babies with bent fins and things, then we'll know that it was genetic and not from conditions. But I believe it was from conditions. Anyway, here's the gorgeous little babies. Had already become wigglers at this point. I'm not sure, I can't remember if there's a close-up right here or if it's the next day, but of them wiggling. But there is a lot of current in the tank at this point, so it's really hard to tell. As you can see, the parents love this Anubias plant that they've put these eggs on. Here in a minute or so, I think you'll see where they've even moved them again to another leaf. One of these actually came from a tank full of angels that were mostly veil tails or the yellow-headed ones like you see here. But these two, neither one of them are veil-tailed angels. I don't know if they have, I can't remember if veil is a recessive or a dominant gene. I haven't really studied up on it much, just read a little bit. But I guess we'll see when we see what happens with these babies. But they ought to be interesting. They're just mutts, of course, because I don't know anything about these fish's background, other than what I received from these folks was 3 of the yellow-headed ones, and which, one of them for sure looks like kind of like a koi, but I don't think they're purebred or anything. And then there was this one striped angel here, this silver angel, and that had normal fins, and then the rest all had veil-tailed fins. and a couple of them are extremely large. They're 7 or 8 years old, the biggest ones. Let's see. Look, I think you can see here where they've moved the eggs again. And they're running around kind of picking them up and moving them from one leaf to the other right now, if I remember correctly, going back and forth. And then of course they're aerating and protecting. The only other fish in this tank is actually a small bristlenose pleco, and they've been able to keep him at bay, so there's been no threat to the actual eggs at this point. There was one morning when I got up in the morning and opened up their little curtain that I curtain their tank from the other critters in the house so that they can't spook them, and turn on their white light, and I had to chase the pleco off because he was balanced on another leaf trying to get close, but those two angels kept him at bay pretty good until I chased him off. I didn't want to try to catch him out of the tank because I thought it would upset the fish too much. And you can see them cleaning and replacing the eggs or wigglers. I can't remember what they are at this point in the picture. I can't see it very clearly. But I believe they're wigglers at this point. But you can see them tending to them, keeping the fungus at bay. And the yellow-headed fish is the female, and the striped silver is the male. And you can see they moved them again. At least half of them are over here hanging off of that leaf. The first day that the eggs started wiggling, they moved them like 5 times in about 12 hours. Moved them from leaf to leaf about 5 times. And I don't know what they did at night, but in the daytime I checked in on them very frequently, and they moved them like 5 times from morning until evening. You can see they're still in the process of moving them. Forgive my voice, I'm having allergies today for some reason. And you can really see that there is quite a current in there, but they are really wiggling. Their little tails are sticking out. They're looking very healthy and very active at this point. It's the first time I've tried letting parents raise the babies. I have done it in separate tanks and things like that in the past, but this is the first time I've let the parents actually tend to and raise the babies. Now this is the day, this is where we're going to stop, and then we'll pick up in another video from this point forward. But you can see that some of them are beginning to swim free, and this is only day 4 since they laid the eggs. But they are beginning to swim free, and the parents are making themselves crazy. And I am going to say goodbye and let you guys just enjoy the last second or so of this video, and I will see you in another video in a couple of days. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.